Criminal Minded here, and today I'm going to be talking about the history of homosexuality between the white man and the black man. This video might be a bit long, but then it's needed as well. On the link below, on the description box, you'll find a link. Something that happened, I think, occurred this year, which relates to this topic here. And we'll first start off with the link that we'll post under the description for you to understand where all this will lead to. Now, on the link, you got this white man, fairly successful. He's got money. He decided to go to Haiti after the hurricane, and he went under the guise of going to help the Haitian children who was poverty stricken and living on the street. So him and other white people went and built this place. Want to build this refuge, as I will call it, and start bringing in black male children from the streets into this hostel refuge, whatever you want to call it. And apparently he was doing lots of good deeds. You see him on video helping build the stuff, trying to reform the children, trying to apparently teach their black children. But behind closed doors, he was molesting these children. And the people the children was reporting him to the people, but no one would listen to the children. Countless children, they even went as far as writing on graffiti walls of the so-called refuge that he built of what was going on, but no one would take heed. In fact, this white man was so powerful that to be able to function in that town, you had to go through him. He was feeding the town. That's how much investors he was bringing into that small town in Haiti. So the people in the town, all the elders in the town, couldn't speak up because they was bought by money, you know. And it kind of bothered me when I was watching that, because it reached a stage where, from him molesting these children for the past, it was going on for like 10-15 years, it reached a point where the children start molesting each other. You see the cycle, right? And it had me thinking, like, wow, the effect of being molested, being raped, it spreads like wildfire. So from one child to another, next you know, the whole area is raping each other. That's more or less where this is going. But luckily, a guy at a radio station who owned a radio station heard the children's cry and put a word out. And today, as we speak, apparently he's been given 20 years in jail for molesting the children for over 10 years period. Now, that's that guy's story, and you can check out the video in the description box. Let's rewind back into time. Now, what I want to talk about, a lot of people in Africa don't want to talk about it, and a lot of historians don't want to cover this story. But this story is true shit, and it's no joke neither. Right? We're going to start off with the colonization of Africa. Now, when Africa got colonized, there was a lot of missionary schools, right? And the missionary schools was more or less no different from what that guy went and did in Haiti. It had a lot of priests, you know, the Catholic priests, you know what they are? They're pedophiles and rapists. They rape little children. And they will go to the villages and take all the children from the village and say they're going to educate them and bring them into the standard of the Christian way, the white way, I call it. And through the missionary schools, they were molesting these children. These children left the missionary schools, went amongst their people, widespread homosexuality. Now, that was not the only thing that was spread up in there. I mean, there was lots of things that they did, but homosexuality came to Africa through the missionary schools. You understand? And the same tactic that this guy in Haiti was doing, the same tactic they did in Ghana, in Nigeria, in South Africa, in Zimbabwe. They will molest the children there and send them back into the community with a messed up head. Because remember, like I said before in one of my videos, a child's brain has not been programmed yet. It needs data and software. And once you program this child's brain with homosexual software and data, that's what the child is gonna go and proceed to do. Gonna start doing the homosexual stuff. So they target children. Yeah. Also, another thing is what you have to understand is this guy who was in Haiti, he had a lot of porn websites that he used to check for, gay porn websites, and all of them had to do with black children being molested, black children being raped, gay black websites. It's all on. When you watch the video, just watch the video, you see for yourself, right? So their agenda is to turn black men into homosexuals. Yeah. Now back to Africa. This is how homosexuality came in amongst us in Africa, through the white missionary churches. Now let's go to slavery. In slavery, homosexuality was part of a punishment for the black males. It was called buck breaking, where they will get all of the people, or all of the black people who was captured in slavery, all the black people who's been enslaved, put them in front, and especially if he's got a wife and children, the slave owner will make his wife and his children witness him getting raped. And what they'll do is they'll tie him up. He'll get other slaves to tie him up, strip him bare, they'll whip his back, yeah, so that he's numb and he can't move. And then after that, either the slave master himself or he'll get one of the other slaves to penetrate this slave in front of everybody, to take his manhood, to demoralize him, to break him, to literally just break his spirit. One of the other ones they used to do was they'll tie up the black man who's been captured into slavery, and they'll tie him with his back to the ground and his face facing up to the sky. Then they'll get one of the slaves to come and shit in his face, right in front of all the other captive slaves. And sometimes the white slave masters' friends and colleagues will be there witnessing this humiliation. But before that, they'll whip you bare so that you're numb, you can't move. And then they just demoralize you by shitting in your face, pissing in your face, and shitting in your face, or anally raping you. Sometimes they will anally probe you. They'll shove stuff up your asshole. This was part of the tortures and part of the punishment that our ancestors went through in slavery. You know what I'm saying? This is how homosexuality came amongst us during slavery, right? Now, I've given you how homosexuality came amongst us in Africa, and I've given you how homosexuality came amongst us during slavery, right? Now, come forth today. How they promote homosexuality through us today? Well, today, I'll say 20% has been done by ourselves, because right now, after 500 years of living amongst these people, we have adapted to their ways, a lot of us. So, like, even in slavery, they'll make the father rape his own daughter to breed. You know what I'm saying? So, to interbreed. So, incest became part of our way of living. You know what I'm saying? Where we start molesting our own children. They had slave farms where you go and you pick little black boys to have sex with. So slave sex farms, where you could go there and pick little boys to have sex with, pedophilia. All this shit is real shit. Um, a lot of this you don't talk about. They have slave sex farms where you go get black women to sleep with. Some of them are mulatto, some of them are full dark skin. There's different crossbreeds of color, I should say. And they'll have one where for the homosexuals and for the pedophiles. Now, black children, black boys. You know. So this is how homosexuality came amongst us, because we was provided service where we was their property and they could do whatever they wanted to do with us. You understand? So that's how homosexuality came amongst us. That's why it's so widespread now, because we have not been diagnosed. We haven't, after slavery, we were just left in the wild, in the wilderness, to just fend for ourselves without no mental evaluation or nothing whatsoever. So a lot of black people are quite messed up walking around here. We're walking around like zombies. We don't even know it. And now we're embracing homosexuality like it's a part of our culture. It's never been our culture. We was forced into homosexuality. You know, and this is the honest truth about it. Anyone can argue what you want, but the history speaks for itself. It wasn't until we was colonized that homosexuality came amongst us, and pedophilia and incest. Yeah. So with that said, now what they do is, majority of the foster homes is black people, because a lot, like I said, they're dealing with people who are generation not being psychologically evaluated. We are mental cases walking around. We're not in our right frame of mind, black people. So you got people who's not in the right frame of mind having children, and sometimes a lot of the time the children get taken away from them and they go to foster homes, and it's usually these white males, these white homosexual males, these white racist homosexuals who go into the foster homes and take these black children. There's news of this, where the foster parents are molesting their black children. They even whore them out. They prostitute them out online. There was this white guy who was doing that, and he got arrested. He had two black foster kids. He was whoring them out to online pedophiles to have sex with them. Now this is common thing. This is what's going on. I'm talking about today, right now. So they go through the fostering to molest black children. They go through the adoption to molest black children. They go through the missionary, which is still going on in parts of Africa to this day. You know what I mean, to molest children. And then on top of that, the black adults who's been molested throughout the years, some of them been molested in jail or not. They go back to the black community and start molesting their girlfriends' children, or start raping their girlfriend's daughters. Some of them got AIDS. They start spreading the AIDS, and like it's just a big havoc in the black community. You know what I mean, all because of homosexuality. When I first went into young institution, young offenders institution in this country is like a young it's like prison for young kids, right? I was 16 years old when I went in. There was 1999, right? I've incriminated myself again, but yeah, I was 16 years old. It was 1999, right? And when I went there, everybody was making noise about this book called Monster Code D. Everyone was talking about a book called Monster Code D, right? And in fact, the book was so popular, you had to be on a waiting list to read a book. And I think I had a 3 months. I had a 6-month sentence, and I was doing half of that, which was 3 months. So for the first month, the book was getting passed around. So after my second month there, I happened to got the book. I was given the book Monster Code D, and I was reading Monster Code D. And one chapter, Monster Code D was in jail with 3 guys in a cell. One was called Fat Rat, and the other guy, I forgot his name, right? Well, Fat Rat and Monster Code D were both gangbangers, and the other guy was also a gangbanger. Monster Code D was cool with Fat Rat's gang, Fat Rat's gang was cool with Monster Cody's gang. Monster Cody was cool with the other guy's gang. But Fat Rat's gang was not cool with the other guy's gang. So when the other guy came into the cell, Fat Rat started bullying the guy. Beat him up, make him strip naked. Fat Rat made the other guy drink his piss, I think. He made him strip naked. Fat Rat started making the guy wash his boxer shorts. Fat Rat tied the guy up and made him sleep under the bunk, which is the floor. But not just on the floor. He slept naked under the bunk. So you got three bunks. You got 1, 2, 3 bunks, right? The guy was not even sleeping on the third bunk. He was sleeping underneath the last bunk. So he was sleeping on the floor, underneath the bunk, basically on the floor. Yeah, tied up with his hands behind his back, tied to his legs. And then Fat Rat started raping this guy. Yeah. And then one time he tried to offer Monster Cody to join him. Monster Cody, according to Monster Cody, he said, "Listen, stop doing this to this guy. Not only have you taken him away from his friends, he can't go back to his neighborhood with his head up no more. Now you want to rape him." So one day Monster Cody asked Fat Rat, and these are all black males. Monster Cody asked Fat Rat. He said, "So how did you learn to do this type of stuff?" I guess what Fat Rat said to him, "Oh, from some slave books I've been reading, how the white man used to break niggas." True story. If you think I'm lying, go to the library, request Monster Cody, read that book, and exactly what I just said is in there. There's a chapter in there dedicated to that chapter there. It was a prison riot, a gang fight in a prison riot. It ended up with the guard, with the warden mixing all the gangs up together, and ended up with one of the gang who was not cool with the other gang, going in the cell, getting raped. And Monster Cody asked him, "Where did you learn all that shit there?" The guy told him, "From slavery books. This how the white man used to break niggas." It's not no secret. This is true shit. You understand? Yeah. So now this is what they're doing now. So when you hear homosexuals trying to say like homosexuality is black people's friends, the homosexual struggle is the same as black people's struggle, that's a lie. You motherfuckers used to rape us. Homosexuals used to own slaves. Black people never owned homosexuals. Homosexuals used to own slaves. There were farms built where homosexuals could go and entertain themselves by raping black children and black men. I kid you not. They had sex farms, all kinds of shit. If anybody got time, you should watch. If you got time, you should watch. What is it called? I think it's called Goodbye Uncle Tom or Uncle Tom's Cabin. It's a slave movie, and it's quite long. It's on YouTube, and it deals with all the kind of trauma that black people went through in slavery. You know, it's a very long film. It's on YouTube. Let me try to remember the name of the movie, man. You know what I'm saying? but this is what we're dealing with. You get me? So black people need to remember that white people are not yet. I think it's called Uncle Tom's Cabin. Let's see, Uncle Tom's Cabin. Is that the one? No. Hold on. Yeah, so it's called Goodbye Uncle Tom. Yeah, whoever got time, just type in Goodbye Uncle Tom on YouTube. It's a 2-hour long video. It'll show you the kind of trauma black people went through during slavery. You know what I'm saying? But my point to you is this, right? It shows you about the sex farms, everything. This is a well-known documented fact. This is no lie. You know what I'm saying? So they went out their way to break black people mentally, sexually, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, verbally. You know what I'm saying? Socially, financially. I mean, even to the point where the black inventors because he's a slave, he could not. He whatever he invented, the slave master is the owner of it. So a lot. Listen, we've been robbed and been colonized for quite a long time. For the Arabs conquered half of Africa, which is North Africa. Took them like 1,500 years, and then the white people came another 500 years. So what the product the black product that you see today is not of the black man. It's of foreigners. You know what I'm saying? We've been raped so badly you can't even explain it. It wasn't just the women getting raped, the men was getting raped, the children was getting raped. They was raping men, women, and child. Do you understand? And it's going on to this day. Nothing has changed. Yeah, these people talk about homosexual rights. Next thing you know, they're gonna ask for pedophile rights. It's gonna be called NAMBLA. What's it called? NAMBLA. Then the man love boy association or some shit. Yeah, NAMBLA. Some bullshit. But this is what we're dealing with, man. So just get the concept right, how homosexuality came amongst us. Yeah, they've attacked us hard, and they always go for the children. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, through the fostering, through the adopting agency, through a lot of shit, and also listen, look, we have to be very careful as black people here, man, because we are it's us against the world. You know, like Tupac said, me against the world. That's the black race. No one like us. But everyone want to take from us. They want to take everything they can take from us. You know what I'm saying? So just be aware of what's going on out here, man. And stop trying to talk about your pro-homosexuality. Because homosexuals have been the biggest advocate against black race ever. They have attacked us hard too. Yeah? Under the disguise of want to help us. You know what I'm saying? So J. Edgar Hoover was a homosexual. He was against he was against the Black Panther uprising. He killed a lot of Black Panthers. He was against Marcus Garvey. He was against Kwame Nkrumah. He was against Malcolm X. He was against Martin Luther. He was against Elijah Muhammad. J. Edgar Hoover was a homosexual. Yeah. So when homosexuals talking about their cause is just is similar to the black cause, tell them to shut the fuck up. The Jews' cause is nowhere near black cause. The Jews own slavery. The Jews read a book called The Secret Relationship Between Black and the Jews by the Nation of Islam, and it will document all of the Jews' accountability towards slavery. Yeah. In fact, once upon a time, slavery was the world's largest economy. Meaning, say everybody participated, if not directly, indirectly. Asians ain't your friend, Chinese ain't your friends, Arabs ain't your friends. Nobody is your friend. A lot of the mulatto race ain't your friend. It's very few mulattoes who are down for the cause, because a lot of mulattoes don't see themselves as black, and they're not black. But that's not the point. The point is, as black people, we've been getting hit for over 2,000 years, maybe even more. Some people might even say even longer than that. But from historical archives, we could trace it back to 2,000 years. And I mean, the black man you see today is not the black man that was 4,000 years ago. Yeah, I'm a product of my environment, and this environment is fucked up. So in that case, this black man is fucked up. You know, I don't want to make it too long, but this is the situation at hand. You know, I'm kind of hurt today, especially watching that shit about Haiti. You know, but this is what we're dealing with as a black race, man. I mean, we got a lot of wolves in sheep clothing coming amongst us, pretending they want to help us, and they usually come in our direst need. They come when we've been conquered. They come when we've been enslaved. They come when we've been hit by natural disasters. They come when we ain't got no parents, no guardian. They come when we ain't got no guidance. Then they come to pounce on us. You know what I mean? So this is a little something for black people who don't know nothing about themselves. And I'm saying, and just analyze the situation at hand and realize that no one is your friend, and no one's cause is your cause. Your cause is the biggest cause on this whole planet. That's why no one want to talk about it. No one will want to talk about it, because when they talk about it and it gets solved, a lot of people will go broke, a lot of people will go hungry, a lot of people will die, and a lot of people will not be able to survive. You know what I'm saying? We built this world. We built half of Europe, and if we didn't build it, Europe was built off of our labor. Yeah, through the slave labor and through colonization of Africa, we built Europe. We built America. We built the Arab states. We made them fucking rich through the slave labor that they got off us, through the military labor they got off us. We built this world, yeah, and the same way we build is the same way we are captives. We are captives in. We are race under siege. You know what I'm saying? Check out Neely Fuller. He will break it down a bit much more better. Neely Fuller on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? But this is who you're dealing with. We're dealing with a race who's been under siege for over 2,000 years. And no one are our friends. No homosexual, no white. Some blacks ain't even our friends. And I mean, we have to keep our eyes on the prize. We have to be careful out here, man. Yeah, because everybody want a piece of this black man, dead or alive. Do you understand? Better dead, because then they could take your organs and sell it and live longer. You understand? So, yes, brothers and sisters, today's a sad day for me, man. Because I just realized something, that ain't nothing changed. The same shit that our ancestors went through with the missionaries, with all these bullshit, it's still going on right now. You know? It's still going on right now, man. I'm lost for words. This tape is going on for 30 minutes now. I'm going to leave you here. This is Criminal Minded. I'm out like I stole something. Peace.